My dear friends, let us we discuss about the research matrix. My presentation outlines basically covers about the meaning of research, importance of research, and Sciento Matrix, research matrix, impact factors, and later we will going to discuss about the side score, which is also parallel to the impact factor, and after that we will going to discuss about the eisen factor, which is also similar to that of the side score as that of the impact factor. Later we are going to reveals about the H index. After that the improvised version of the H index, we will discuss about the G index. From the G index we will going to discuss about the Simago journal ranking. It is one of the most important website is used for knowing the most productivity journal in the given field. After that we will going to discuss about the Google Scholar citations in order to know our H index, how it going to calculate the H index of the given author. After that we will going to discuss about the alt matrix, which is one of the most emerging in the field of research matrix. At the end we will going to discuss about the SNIP, that is a source normalized impact per paper. That is one of the most important matrix is used in the recent days in order to measure the impact of research publication. After that we will going to conclude my research work. My dear friends, as you know that before going to the research metric, let me know and discuss about the important features of research. As we know that research is one of the basic backbone of any country or any nation. It is basically required for the growth, development, and also the progress of the country or the nation. And this is one of the most important criteria for helps for the government in order to take the better decisions and also for the decision making activities. Research is one of the major focus area. Nowadays most of the government sectors and also the organization, they are giving the very top priority area for the research in order for the increasing the standard of living across the state and across the country. And this research make us more comfortable and making the life more easy, and also develop the comparedness among our basic things. The basic fundamental characteristics of any research is we come across the very distinctive characteristics of the research is that is curiosity. This is also called as inquisitiveness. That means eagerly know something about the phenomena. So that indicates the help us to know about many things. The curiosity to know about the background of us, curiosity know about the universe, curiosity know about the planet, curiosity know about our surroundings, our culture, our environment, our society, and so many strata in the society. And we are also questioning mind always. It is a instinct for the research work. Why the solar eclipse occurs, why the lunar eclipse occurs, how they are taking place. Always we have a questioning mind, how it is happening, why it is happening, when it is happening, how far it is going to happening. Like this we are raises many questions, and also we come across many things. Why only the object poverty in some particular country, why there is only some country are so much advanced and developed, what is the reason behind this? So for all this we can able to get the answer only from the research. Research is nothing but whenever you encounter any problem, so it will provide the solution to us. Whenever you want seek any answer, so we have to go with research only. Therefore research is seeking answer to the question or seeking the solution to the problem. Therefore it helps for searching the particular facts and the truth. So in order to make the research more elaborative manner, research is basically meant for searching for the knowledge, scientific and systematic search of information on a particular topic. So the research is always well and defined. It is a logical, it is a systematic, it is a scientific way of pertaining the answer to the particular question. It is also a purposive investigation. It is the art of scientific investigation. According to Redman and Moore, research is a systemized effort to gain a new knowledge. And according to the Clifford Woody, and research comprises defining and redefining, problem, formulating the hypothesis or suggested solution, collecting, organizing, evaluating data, making deductions and reaching the conclusion, and finally carefully testing the conclusion with determined whether they are fit formulated hypothesis or not. So, this way research can be defined in various ways. So, basically we are conducting the research basically for the extension of knowledge. Always whenever you go with any new kind of theory, new kind of laws, new kind of postulates, they are coming from research only. Therefore, research helps a lot for the extension of knowledge, extension of domain knowledge, and it contributing to the development of theory. So, today we come across so many theories, especially if you take in physics, we come across Albert Einstein theory of relativity regarding the space. You can also come across the Newton's law. All they have developed because of their research work, and the research publication is published in the form of theories and laws. Discovering the new things and possible solution, always it is intended for the discoveries, and we can get the solution for the given problem, find the solution to the many problems and discovering the truth. There are so many things are there, it is unexplained phenomena. So, through the research only we can find unknown things to the known way. So, fill the gap in the knowledge system and change the life better and more professional, and enhance the living of standard in the society. Research must always be high quality in order to produce the knowledge that is applicable outside the research settings. This way research can help for many things, for the development of theories, for development of laws, for the extension of knowledge, and it also helps for the decision making activities, and also it helps for the increasing standard of living across the country, across the globe, make the life more comfortable with research only. Since the research metrics or the indicators we are used is heavily in the progress to measure the progress of the given author in any given field. So, in the library science we come across one of the very important area in the library science is Sciento Matrix. This Sciento Matrix is the area, or it is also called as bibliometrics. We used to deal with the various kind of matrices, or it can be indicators that helps to measure the performance of the given author, given institution, given country. On the basis of their performance, we can evaluate the research work more particularly. Therefore, the Sciento Matrix is nothing but it measures the indicators, the growth and development of the literature in a given field. It is a quantitative study of scientific output in any form, either it is in the research article or a book or conference volumes, or it may be anything. It comprises all the metrics studies related with the science indicators, citation analysis, research evaluation, etc. Scientometrics is restricted to the measurement of science communication, whereas a bibliometric deals with the general information process. And it is a sub-discipline of library and information science to instrument for evaluation and benchmarking of science activities. This will help for measuring the activities and also help us to measure the growth and development of literature in a given subject. We can use the series of basket of matrices in order to measure the performance of the growth and development of the given literature. This way it will help us for the assessing the quality of research publication in more defined way. The research output nowadays we come across, there is a lot of research activities are taking place across the world. N number of researchers are involved in the research activities, N number of institutions also involved in the research activity. Every way and every time we come across the research is one of the most priority area. As a result of which today we come across the sea changes in the publication, lot of voluminous of data is coming, lot of number of papers are is also producing across the world. In any given lot of academic activities are also taking place across the world, as a result of which because of doing a constant and continuous research in a given field, lot of research publication is coming out in the form of publication. In order to measure which country has performing better in the research, we should apply the some of the scientific indicators that we called as a research indicators that will measure the performance and assess the growth and development of your literature and also measure the performance, how best your research is going to impacting on other publication work. So we have to measure the research output on various indicators we are using in the Sciento Matrix. We can also analyze the data or analyze the research put on the basis of the country, which country is perceived to be a most top country in the world, and which is emerging as a country, which country is most emerging in a given field in the particular research, which institution is also emerging is the most topmost institution on a given research or a given institutions. And also you can analyze the research output and interpreting the research output on discipline wise, which subject is a top at the research and which department is to be highest H index, which individual author have a highest research publications having a highest H index. Therefore, we can analyze the research output on the basis of various indicator like countries. We can also analyze with respect to institution, we can analyze with respect to discipline, we can analyze with respect to department, we can analyze with respect to individuals. This way we can analyze so that this will helps for making a better decision to take for the government level or the institution level in order to make any kind of grant affiliation to the any university or any department or institution. Let us we come to the actual topic, that is the research metrics. These metrics are play very important role in the research work. They are used for a series of indicators, or we can also call it as a metrics, to measure the growth and development of the publication either at the institution level or at the journal level or at the article level or at the country level or at any institution level also. Therefore, these metrics are the fundamental tools we are using across the publishing industry to measure the performance of the literature or the publication both at the journal level or at the article level. So, these are the range of metrics, or we can also call it as a basket of metrics have to be used to assess the overall performance of the research output either at the individual level by the given author or given country or given institution or given anything, we can measure it. The traditional impact factor to the alt metrics. Today we have a n number of metrics have been developed. These are the series of metrics we can apply to the research output and measure overall and progressively, very comparatively, so that you can assess this research growth in the well advanced country. Today we come across the impact factor. It was used earlier days to measure the performance of the journal and see the quality of journal. From the impact factor we move to the very recent we come across is the alt metrics, H index, and beyond that we are using the series of matrices to measure the and assess the growth and development of literature and also assess the quality of the given article or given journal. Assessment of performance of the research output on 3 levels. Okay, we can do the assessment of the research publications at 3 levels. One is journal level, which journal seems to be a most productive journal, highly cited journal, high quality journal. How you are going to assess this journal? It can be done with the help of impact factor, or you can use the eisen factor, even you can use the site score for assessing the journal or the quality of journal or impact of that journal. Even at the second level, that is article level, we can use which article seems to be a better and best, having issued a highest number of citations. For in order to check the article level quality, we can use the article influence score, is one of the indicator used to measure the quality of research article. At the author level, a given author XYZ, you can use the performance of the author research on the basis of its H index or G index is used for the author level, measure the performance of the research by the given author or given individual or group of individual or given department or given country. Like this, so this research index are usually used at the 3 level. One is journal level, other one is article level, and at the last one is the author level. We can use this indexes. So, first and foremost, among the various types of research index, we come across the first and very oldest and traditional research metrics we have used since from the many days is impact factor. The most well known metrics for assessing the journal performance and one of the oldest metrics designed in the year 1960. It is very well used for measuring the quality of journal, assessing the performance of the journal. So, which is very much required for the publishing industry as well as the researcher as well as the student, to which journal I have supposed to publish my research article, which journal I supposed to read. So, that way this impact factor helps a lot for the given research scholar. It is a quantitative indicator to assess the impact of the journal and its quality. And it is very simple. Impact factor is a quantitative indicator. So, it gives the number of a given journal. Based on that number, we can assess the quality of journal. And it is a very simple research matrix. It is a very simple arithmetic mean. It is very easy to calculate. So, this impact factor is calculated by the Web of Science. It is one of the most advanced and well leading publications. Web of Science is one of the major databases, full text bibliographical databases, which is available in both science as well as social science. It is going to publish and release officially the impact factor of the journal, which is indexed in the Web of Science. The journal citation report is one of the sub indicators in the Web of Science that will going to officially announce the impact factor of the journal, which is indexed in the Web of Science. What is that Web of Science? Web of Science is a leading bibliographical databases, and they are going to officially releasing this impact factor. So, this impact factor is basically helps for various things. Basically, let us consider how it is going to help from the reader point of view. So, which journal I supposed to read? So, based on the impact factor, I can decide which is the most productivity journal, which is the high quality of journal in a given discipline. Based on the impact factor, I can able to decide it. Which journal should I submit the research paper, and which journal I supposed to publish my research article, so that I can get the impact of that article. I can able to visualize my research article. So, this way impact factor is a very simple arithmetic calculation, and based on that we can able to decide the performance of the given journal. ISI, Institute of Scientific Information, is one of the institution. They are particularly working on the impact factor and also ranking the journals according to their citations. So, define the top journals in their database and called we as a source journals. For each source journal, ISI preparing for the reference list of article. So, they will decide and prepare the rank list of journals based on the number of citation the journals and article received for their article. It will prepare the list of rank list. That will helps a lot for calculation of the impact factor. The more is references in the journal, more is its impact. That is obviously, if you have a n number of references, automatically you will get more number of citations. The average number of citations received by the article in a journal within 2 years window. So, while you are defining the impact factor, it is very simple. It is the ratio between the two important variable. It is the ratio between the number of citations received by that particular journal divided by the number of article published by that journal. Or we can like this for the period of previous 2 years. The journal citation report annually covers the science and social science, Scopus, Web of Science and Google Scholar citation. So, we can able to get the impact factors on various either it is in the Web of Science journal citation report annually, it releases this impact factor of the journal which are indexed in that particular databases which is covered under the social science citation databases or the science citation databases which is indexed in the Web of Science. Even Google Scholars citation also we can get it. Even Scopus databases also publish this impact factor. So, this impact factor is basically a simple arithmetic calculation. It is the ratio between the number of citation received by the article articles for the 2 previous years divided by the number of articles published in the 2 previous period. It is the window of 2 years period. How can I get an impact factor for my journal? Suppose I want to publish a new journal in my subject. For that I want to get the impact factor. Today, without impact factor, the journal doesn't have any value at all. So, all the high quality journals nowadays, the UGC has prepared the rank list also, and care list journals. Most of the journals, they have almost impact factors. Therefore, you can also get the impact factor. How can I get a impact factor for journal? Okay, so it will follow some procedures for getting the impact factor. Journal should be indexed in the science citation index expanded or in social science citation index SSCI receive a official impact factor. If your journal, if you want to suppose you have published a new journal, for that we want to get the new impact factor. For that your journal first and foremost is indexed in the either social science citation index, if it is a social science journal, or it is a science journal, it has to be indexed in the science citation index automatically, officially, based on the number of citation it receives. You can able to calculate the impact factor. To be eligible for coverage in the Web of Science indices, journal must meet the wide range of criteria. Simply, the Web of Science is one of the most advanced and leading databases in the field of social science and science. They simply they cannot accept it. Your journal should meet out the wide range of criteria: quality of article, quality of your research, level of research, and it has a peer-reviewed journal. They will check the quality. They will have a series of editorial board, and your journal article should pass all the peer-reviewed process. Then only your journal is eligible to allot for the impact factors. The first step to receive an impact factor is which is figured in the emerging source citation index. Then only you can able to get the impact factor of your journal. So let us we see the how the calculation of impact factor we can done it. It is very simple. For the calculation point of view, the impact factor is very easy. It is, as I told, it is the relation between the two indicators. Number one is number of citations received by the journals divided by the number of articles published in the last 2 previous years. Okay, let us we see how the calculation has taken place of the impact factor for any given journal. For example, you say the journal X, which is having the impact factor published in 2017. So that journal has received 214 citations, which is for the articles published in 2015 and 16 divided by number of articles published in 2015 and 16. So that journal impact factor is 2.229. In general, in order to make it more clear, that is a journal impact factor, the citations in 2017 for a journal X, for the citation item publication in 2015, it has received 109 journal in the year 2015, and it received 105 journals citation in the year 2016, divided by the total number of journal it has published in the year 2015, it is 46 article, and 50 journal in the year 2016. Altogether, it is through 214 divided by 96, it gives the journal impact factor of 2.229. If you want to express this impact factor in general way, you can also express like this. Impact factor for the year X. You take any journal, the journal may be ABCD, for the given year is X, citation in X to a article published in X minus 1 and X minus 2. Suppose I want to know the impact factor of the journal X of 2019. The number of citations received by the journal for the year 2017 and 2018 last 2 previous years divided by number of article published in 2017-2018. Here also the same expression is given in the formula citation index to an article published in x minus 1 year and x minus 2 years divided by article published in x minus 1 and x minus 2. So, in the box I have given the impact factor of Nature journal, which is having a highest impact factors at the world level. It is almost 43.07 impact factor. So, for that I have calculated the impact factor. So, for we have a impact factor for 2 years and also we have a impact factor of 5 years. For 2 years it is 43.07 and for 5 years we have a impact factor of 45.819. The reason is for impact factor general is it is a 2 years. Generally we are calculating for 2 years and only take the data of 2 years. If you want to go for 5 years means you take the range of 5 years data in order to check the consistency of the impact factor and also see the consistency in the research of a given journal. You can visualize in the 5 years. So, same also I have expressed here calculation of impact factor for Nature journal. Suppose the number of citations in 2019 to the article published. Okay, for example, the Nature journal which is published in 2019 received a impact factor of 28.599. How it has calculated? For the 2019, the Nature journal has received 9628 citation in the year 2017 and it received 12,365 citations in the year 2018. Altogether it works out to be 21,993 only for the citations. Similarly, number of article published in the 2017 it is almost published 390 article and it has published 379 article in 2018. Altogether it is amounts to be 769 articles. Therefore, the impact factor is very easy for calculation. Once you know the number of citation received divided by the number of article published, that gives the impact factor of the given journal. Therefore, total 21,993 citations as received for the last 2 previous years divided by the total number of articles published in the last 2 previous years, that is 769, that is going to be about 28.599. This way impact factor has been calculated for 2 years. In order to know the consistency of research, so let us we also calculate the impact factor for 5 years. It is a range of 5 years. The calculation part is similar only. In case of general impact factor, we can consider only for the 2 years data. In case of 5 years impact factor, we can consider for the range of 5 years of data. Suppose your data, so your journal should have a history of 5 years which has to be converted and it has to be covered in Web of Science. Okay. Similar formula we can also here. The number of citation received in the year maybe 2019 for the articles which are received in the last 5 years period. For example, if you say a journal X which is published in the its impact 5-year impact factor in the year 2019, the number of citations that journal X received for the last previous 5 years, 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, number of citations it received divided by total number of articles published in the last 5 years previous period, that is number of articles published in 2018, 17, 16, 15, 14, all together we are calculating the impact factor. It gives the consistency of the research output of the given journal. So, let us we discuss about the what are the merits of impact factors. So, why you should go for calculating the impact factor, what is the use of this impact factor. The impact factor is very useful tool for evaluation of journal. Today n number of journals are coming, you cannot able to distinguish which one is quality one, which one is less quality, which one is a substandard, which one is the best journal, which one is the topmost journal, which one is the most productive journal. Without this impact factor, it is very difficult to calculate the quality of research article and quality of research journal. It provides the quantitative tool for ranking, evaluating, categorizing and comprising journal. So this impact factor will help us for ranking the journals based on its citations, and we can evaluate the quality of journal with the help of impact factor. Enhance the quality and prestige of the journal. If the journal having a highest impact factor, automatically it has a name and fame, automatically it has gets its highest reputation in the academic world. Many publication industries also one of the marketing tool of this impact factor for them, and based on that only, even for the librarian also, based on the impact factor, they are going to continue the subscription of the journal, or they are going to subscribe the journal for their library. It is a tool for academic evaluation. So it is one of the best tool for academic evaluation. We don't have any other alternative tool other than this. It is the only tool you have to use to measure the performance and quality of articles and journals. Librarians can support the selection or removal of journals from their collection and determine how long to keep each journal in the collection before archiving it. Based on the performance, based on the impact factor, librarian can take the decision about the continuation of the journal or for the subscription of the journal. It helps a lot for decision making for the librarians. For publisher point of view, from the editor's point of view, can determine the journal influence in the marketing place. So this impact factor can be used as a marketing tool. If the journal is having a highest impact factor, automatically it is a highest marketing value in the academic environment. Therefore, it is one of the best tool for the marketing by the publisher. Author can identify the most appropriate influence journal in which he is going to publish his article, or is going to refer the article for his research publication. And professor and students also, they can utilize the better journal for their research work, which is the best journal in their subject, in order to referring and in order to citation, in order to publish their research work. So this research matrix, especially the drawback of this impact factor is, or the limitation of the impact factor, it has many also. One side it has a very good merits, and other side it has also equally same demeritations are there of impact factors. The impact factor is the arithmetic mean, doesn't adjust for the distribution of citations. Impact factor is just, it is a numerical value. Based on that, we cannot decide anything. You cannot adjust for the distribution of citations. Only can take the 2 years data. Based on the citations, just we are going to calculate the impact factor. Therefore, you may get the citation for the positive as well for the negative articles also. For the it never bother about the quality of journal. If you get the citation for negative also, your impact factor will also go high, or it has enhanced. The JCR does not distinguish between the citations made to the articles, reviews and editorials. A journal citation report doesn't make any distinguish between whether you are getting the citation for the article or for the reviews or for the editorial. Simply you are getting it, it doesn't make any differentiation. The impact factors only consider the number of citation, not the nature of the quality. Very important and very impact of the delimitation of the, or the limitation of this impact factor is, it only counts the citation. It never bother about the nature of the quality of journal, whether it is a positive or it is a negative. You could not able to compare the impact factor across the different disciplines or area. Other very disadvantages of the impact factor is cross section subject we cannot compare with this impact factor. Obviously, some of the subjects in the some of the particular discipline we have a highest impact factor journals, or some of the science, especially in social science, we get a very less number of citations, less number of impact factor journal as compared to the science, as compared to the engineering, as compared to the medical science. Whereas the literature is also people are getting very less than one impact factor also. That means that you cannot assess the competency of the teachers among the cross sectional and disciplines. The journal which is having highest impact factor as a high quality one, the journal which is published at the low level of impact factor in social science, it is a less quality. You cannot compare it, because the nature of calculation is totally different in the process of calculation of impact factor. The impact factor cannot show a significant variation, shows the significant variation year on year, especially in smaller journal. So, this year maybe the Nature journal has received the impact factor of 40, more than 40. Next year it may receive 20, next year it may receive 60. Doesn't mean that the next year this journal is going to be diluted, the quality is going to be degraded. It is not like that. It's simply the based on the number of citations received, the calculation takes place. There is a lot of variation from year to year for the calculation of impact factor. Based on that, you cannot judge the quality on year wise basis. That is another important drawback of the impact factor. It has inadequate international coverage, and it cannot cover all the journals of all the countries. Only the advanced countries journal has been included in Web of Science and Scopus databases. Only that journal has receiving the highest citation and having a highest impact factors. Some of the less developed country, their journal is not at all included in this Web of Science or Scopus. They did not get the any citation. Doesn't mean that automatically their impact factor comes to be very less. Don't think the quality is very low. Okay. Self-citation of author and self-citation of journal increases the impact factor. Even in order to manipulating the impact factor, you can enhance it by the self-citations and self-citation of journal. That way you can able to manipulate the impact factors of the journal. These are the some of the drawback of the impact factors. It has its own merits as well as it has own demerits. In spite of its demerits, the impact factor is the only a matrix you can have today to judge the quality, and you can assess the research performance of the journal. Next important research matrix is site score. This is a parallel and improvised version of the impact factor. Site score is the ratio. It is simply doesn't take any differences between the impact factor and site score. It is the ratio between the number of citations divided by the number of articles published. That means ratio of citation to the research publication. It is applicable for the journal and book series which are indexed in Scopus. This site score is one of the metrics or indicator which is designed in the Scopus database. The journal which have included in this Scopus databases are indexed in the Scopus databases. They have developed and calculate the site score for the journal. Site score consider all the content published in journal, not just article and reviews. Whatever you published in the journal, it take all into account. In case of the impact factor, only it takes the research article, but here it takes the editorial views, it can takes the conference volume, it takes other also, whatever it is there in the journal. Produced by this, has been designed and developed by the Scopus in the year 2016. It also published the additional ranking of journals yearly, such as a site score percentage based on the subject categories, and monthly cited tracker is there. It will give the list of journals based on the cited it received on that particular month. The number of all citations recorded in Scopus in 1 year to the content published in journal X in the last 3 years divided by the total number of items published in journal X in the previous 3 years. Only the difference is for the impact factors. For the general, it is take the 2 years data for the calculation, that is number of citation divided by number of article published. Whereas in case of site score, it takes the data range of 3 years, previous 3 years number of citation received divided by the number of article published in 3 previous years. That's all. The difference between the site score and impact factor is very simple. As I told, the impact factor is usually it is calculated by the Web of Science officially, and site score is which is calculated by the Scopus databases. Site score is based on the Scopus databases, and impact factor is based on the Web of Science database. The number of citations and journal coverage in the certain subject areas are relatively higher when compared to the impact factor. Site score uses the 3-year citation windows. Already I told, for the calculation of the site score, we take the range of 3 years data, number of citations received for the last 3 years divided by the total number of articles published in the last 3 years. Whereas in case of impact factor, it takes only the windows of 2 years data, last previous 2 years divided by the number of citations. This way we can find the differences in the site score as well as impact factor. The impact factor denominator includes only the articles and reviews, whereas in case it covers all. The site score cover all the subject areas, whereas impact factor is only covers the available for journal indexed in science citation index and social science citation index. The next very important research factor or the matrix which we are going to use in place of these impact factors or the site score is eisen factor. It is recently, it has also started to use by the Web of Science. This has been calculated by the JCR, Journal Citation Report, included eisen factors in order to check the article influence score in the year 2007. So, the Web of Science database has released 2 indicators in the year 2007. One is eisen factor to check the influence of the journal, and also the article influence score to check the level and assessment of the article which is published in 2007. They follow the network theory methodology for the calculation of eisen factor. It is very easy also. Similar things what it has following in the calculation of impact factor, but here it will takes the some other extra parameter for the calculation. Eisen factor measure the influence of the journal based on whether it has cited within other reputable journal over the 5 years. Eisen factors take the range of data for 5 years, site score take the range of data for 3 years, impact factor takes the range of data for 2 years. There is a difference in this. A citation from highly cited journal is worth more than from the journal with few citations. That is almost obvious also. The citations are also weighted by the length of the reference list than the its from. The eisen factor is calculated using algorithm they have used for the calculation of the eisen factor according to the influence of journals, according to the citation they received. The few years window is 5 years window is used, and journal citation not included. The score does not take a journal size into account. Some of the factors they have considered for the calculation of this eisen factor. For the calculation, it takes the range of 5 years data, number 1. And this calculation for eisen factor, it won't consider the self citations. Self cited references by the author is not included in the calculation of eisen factor, and size of the journal is not taken into account. Number of article published is not taken into account. These are the things which are going to used for the calculation of eisen factor. The number of citations in the 1 year to the content published in journal X in the previous 5 years weighted divided by the total number of articles published in journal X within the previous 5 years. Similar also. So 5 years, for example, If you want to calculate the Eisen factor, means it takes the range of 5 years. If you want to calculate the, for example, the Eisen factor is maybe about 2.3 or 4.6 or 5.6 for the year 2019, means it takes the data range of 5 years from 2014 to 2018, number of citations received by the journal divided by the total number of publications published in 2014 to 2018. That gives the Eisen factor of the given journal. This is the official website of the Eisen factor website. It will give the percentile as well as the Eisen factor value of the given journal. Based on this, you can able to decide the quality of journal which is indexed in the Web of Science.